Today, I'm going to show you how to cover the round corners of your notebooks and journals. And once you know the little trick I'm going to show you, it'll be very, very easy for you to do. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do, of course, is cover your notebook. This is a composition notebook. And what I did, I used an 8.5 by 11 paper, so it fit very nicely. I just had to cut this edge off a little bit, and you want to leave at least 3/4 of an inch to an inch around the edges, so it'll give you enough room to overlap, and then you can use that amount to bend over, which I'm going to show you that now. I'm going to turn this around so you can see a little better. And what you want to do is you want to round this corner with your scissors. And if you're comfortable with just going for it, cut it out. If you want to take a pencil and kind of sketch around, that's okay too. But you want to leave at least 3/4 of an inch, which that looks good. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut around that corner. And then I want to do the same thing here. I want to leave about 3/4 of an inch and round this corner too. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut about right there, and you're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch between the edge of your notebook and your scissors. So I'll just do that, and I want to make sure this is going to fold down okay when I fold it. Yes. Then on this side you're going to do the same thing. I hope you can see that okay. We're going to cut another slice right here, leaving about 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to come down here to the other corner and do the same thing. We're going to cut about right here, leaving 1/8 of an inch between the cover and where I made the cut. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Make another cut, leaving 1/8 of an inch. And I just want to make sure when I fold this down that that's going to be okay. And go ahead and crease this. Go ahead and crease along this edge, the long edge, and then crease along this edge. Now this is the little trick I was telling you about. It's actually a dressmaking tip. If you've ever sewn any clothes or been a seamstress, then you'll recognize what we're going to do. We're going to clip the curve. So we're going to cut little V's out, going again no closer than about 1/8 of an inch. We're going to cut little V's just like that. Take it out of there. See how I'm doing this? And we want to do this all along the edge, like this. See how that looks? And the reason we don't want to cut all the way to the edge is we want to be able to use that little allowance to cover the notebook in the corner. So we're just going to keep cutting little V's out, and you want to cut several, just like that. Let's just cut another one right here. It's going to look just like that. The next thing you'll need to do is to take double-sided tape. You can also use glue, but today I'm going to use double-sided tape along this long edge. And do the long edge first. It makes the whole process a little easier if you do the long edge first. And I'm going to go right up to where I made that first cut. Let me tear this off. It's one thing I like about double-sided tape. It tears, I can't say that word, tears real easy. There we go. Sometimes my words just don't come out right. This double-sided tape I got at Dollar Tree, and it works really good. It works just as good as the more expensive double-sided tape. So if you get to Dollar Tree, be sure you pick up some of this double-sided tape. It looks like this. Now I'm going to take I'm going to call it my pokey tool, which I also get these at Dollar Tree, and I love these. There's two of them. One's a little smaller, one's a little bigger. I think I'll use the smaller one. And they're great. I use them all the time. So if you get to Dollar Tree, be sure you pick up these little pokey tools. You can use this end to burnish your double-sided tape because you want to make sure it's going to stick. So just burnish that down a little bit, then just take this end and it peels right off just like that. And now we're going to press this down so it's nice and smooth, just like that. Let me grab my wax paper and my glue. This time I'm going to use the Barely Art glue because it leaves a little wiggle room time so we can manipulate this edge. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to use this glue and I'm going to glue each one of these little, I'm going to say where I made the V's, I'm going to put glue on those, and then I'm also going to put some glue here on the edge like this. Okay, I'm pretty generous with it. I want it to be fairly wet, and I'm going to go along this edge too like this so it'll press down nice and smooth. So you're just going to take these one at a time or two at a time, and you're just going to press them over the edge like this. I'm sticking to it just like this, and the glue is wet so it'll smooth out. Can you see that okay? So you're just going to push it over the edge so it's nice and smooth. Whoops, I missed one. Let's get some glue on that one. There we go. Press it down good. Smooth it out with your finger because it's still wet. I'm going to take my double-sided tape once again and go along this shorter edge now. So let's do that. I put it pretty close to the edge like that. I'm going to take our pokey tool, burnish it down so it'll stick, and then peel it off. Just like that. And then press this down over the edge. Kind of smooth it as you go along like this. And make sure this is down. This is still a little wet. I bumped it a little bit, but see, I was able to smooth it down. I'm going to turn it around and do the other corner. I'm going to do the same thing on this corner. I'm going to clip the curve. I'm going to cut little V's once again, just like this. go almost to the edge, about an 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I might need to go a little closer there. And just keep going around like this. This is going to make covering the round corners of your notebooks and journals so easy just by following this little trick. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do the same thing on this corner with my glue. I'm going to cover each one of these little sections with glue. I'm going to be pretty generous with it because I want it to be wet enough that I can smooth it out on the corner. I'm going to put a little bit here. I think that's good. So now we're just going to take them one or two at a time and fold them over like this. I usually start on one side or the other. Just like that. Then I'm going to smooth it over the edge like that. And you have to be a little careful because it is wet, so it will tear, but if it tears, that's okay. We'll fix it. Let's see how that looks. That looks good. We're going to take our sticky tape once again, or double-sided tape. You can call it sticky tape or double-sided tape. Tear it off like that. Burnish it with our pokey tool. I'll get it off. There we go. And then smooth it down on this edge. Like that. Make sure I'm going to give this a little more pressing. So let's take a look. There you have it. It looks really nice. See how smooth it is on the corners? You can do this. It's so easy once you know that little dressmaking tip. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video gave you some useful tips on how to cover the round corners of your glue books and your journals. And I also hope you have a few minutes that you can relax and do some crafting. I really appreciate you being here. See you soon with a new video.